Remind me, Eric Andre, what was this box set called?
Nightmare, 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 nightmare.
I'm pretty sure it was plural, but, close enough. Hello and welcome back to Madmen with a Box. I'm one of the Madmen, Oz Chris, here to talk about Torchwood 1 Nightmares, the fourth volume of the Torchwood 1 audio series over on Big Finish. This came out on April 20th of 2022, starring Tracy Ann Oberman as Yvonne Hartman and Gareth David Lloyd as Yanta Jones. Now this is comprised of 3 stories. I'm not going to go into spoilers, I'll keep it as spoiler free as possible. So beginning with My Guest Tonight by Tim Foley. Nigel Best, he's a talk show host. He's one of the best. It's in his name. But he is intrigued by a certain guest, Yvonne Hartman. Not just once, not just twice, but I think 3 times. The last 2 times, it's not really Yvonne. It's someone else that just looks like Yvonne. Something's going on. He knows about Torchwood. He wants to figure this out. Now this was probably one of the best stories in this box set. It was a real standout one. I absolutely love the story. I love the premise. I loved everything that was going on in it. It just kept me hooked. Like, I felt like I was Nigel Best in this scenario. Just like, I want to know what the hell is going on. So the story did a great job of doing that, hooking me in, intrigued by what the plot of this story was of My Guest Tonight. So I really enjoyed this episode. John Culshaw, who plays Nigel Best, did a fantastic job in this story. I absolutely loved him in this. He's amazing. Everyone in this story was great. I don't know. Without trying to spoil it, it's really hard to say how much I enjoyed this story. It's just so good and a great starter to this box set, which leads us into Lola by Rochana Patel. I probably butchered that pronunciation. It wouldn't be a review if I didn't butcher anyone's names. But in Lola, Yanta Jones thinks something's wrong with Torchwood, and so does Yvonne Hartman. The problem is, they think it's each other. So everyone has been retconned. Retcon, for those who need to be re-familiarized with the term, is where someone's memory is erased of a certain time period. Everyone in Torchwood 1 has been retconned. They don't know who did it. Suspicion is cast between Yvonne, Yanto, and then pretty much almost everyone in Torchwood 1. Interesting enough premise. However, I feel like this was probably the weakest story. I did like the premise, I liked what was going on. I think it just as the story progressed, I started to lose a bit more interest in it. The story didn't drag. It wasn't slow. I felt my interest in it waning as it progressed. So I felt like this was, at least in my opinion, the weakest of all 3 stories, unfortunately. Even though Tracy Ann, Gareth, everyone in that story did great performances, I don't know, I just felt I lost interest as it progressed. I don't know, I don't feel like there was anything that kind of stood out in the story. It was just a story. It was just kind of there, right in the middle. Coincidentally enough, it was kind of a mid-story. So yeah, unfortunately, Lola, I wasn't particularly impressed with that story. I thought it was just fine. Which leads us into our last story, Less Majesty by James Goss. Yvonne Hartman wakes up in a reasonably nice hotel room next to a dead member of the royal family. Awkward. Now, oddly enough, this was fun. This was actually kind of fun story just because of how all the characters played off from each other. So as I said in the premise, Yvonne wakes up next to a member of the royal family and they're dead. She doesn't know what's going on. She doesn't know how she got here. So she calls Yanto to help. Yanto calls Tommy to help as well. But Tommy's suspicious of Yvonne, thinking that she actually did this. She just straight up killed a member of the royal family. I mean, who hasn't had thoughts of that from those who... I was going to make an ex-British colony joke because I'm an Australian, but I'll stop there. But, no, actually kind of had a lot of fun with this episode just because of everyone, all the actors interacting with each other, all the their characters playing off from one another. I really kind of enjoyed this. It was kind of a step up from Lola. The story itself is okay. It's just the characters really stand out in this and made me enjoy it a bit more from just a kind of a simple murder mystery, I would say. So yeah, Less Majesty, I quite enjoyed that one, but the cake, the crown goes to, and takes the cake, is My Guest Tonight. My Guest Tonight was the standout story in Torchwood 1 Nightmares. So overall, the stories ranged from great to okay. I didn't feel like this was a waste of money. I at least got my money's worth out of this. If I had to rate it, 7 out of 10. Yeah, like I said, great to okay stories. So, well, great, okay to and good. But all the performances by everyone in the cast, Tracy Ann Oberman, Garrett David Lloyd, Timothy Bentic, Timothy Blore, John Culshaw, Susan Hingley, Blythe Jandu, and Damien Lynch, they did all amazing jobs. So I always feel like I'm being unintentionally sarcastic when I type like this. It's supposed to be genuine. I'm sorry. But no, I think everyone did a fantastic job on this box set, so great overall. But that is it for my discussion review of Torchwood 1 Nightmares. Thank you everyone for watching. Like, subscribe, hit the notification bell. Go check out my previous reviews or any of the previous videos I've done with my co-hosts, and I'll see you all in the next one. Ciao.